Welcome to SiachenX. On 21st August 2020, the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan addressed a nation with a live broadcast. In this broadcast, he announced the largest natural gas field discovery in the country's history. The announcement that gave off the impression that this could mean Turkey, which is currently dependent on gas imports, could now become a key energy player itself. But the question remains, what are the actual gas pipelines in the region of the Anatolia and how this oil pipeline affects the entire region's geopolitics? Now, let us first look at the location of the Turkey. Turkey is located in the peninsula of Anatolia in Western Asia. Turkey is acting as a land bridge between the continent of Europe and Asia, and thus Turkey is located at the center of the world's proven reserves of 72% of the crude oil and 73% of the world's natural gas. Turkey is located at the east of the Mediterranean Sea and south of the Black Sea, and these two important seas are connected by the Straits of Bosphorus and Dardanelles. These two important straits of Bosphorus and Dardanelles makes Turkey a country with high geostrategic value and thus acts as an energy bridge between the energy producing Asia and energy consuming markets of Europe. Now let us look at the current energy situation in the country. Turkey is closely located to all the countries which are energy exports country. Such one of those are Russia. Russia, which has a coast on the Black Sea, has the largest amount of natural gas reserves in the world. Second is Iran. Iran, which borders Turkey in the east, holds the second largest natural gas reserve in the world. And third is Iraq. Iraq, which is hugely economically dependent on energy industry, as almost all of the country's exports are crude oil. And finally, from the Caucasus we have Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan, whose 91% of the exports are petroleum products. In contrast to that, the Turkish economy is much more diversified, but the country is hugely dependent on imports for its energy supply, such that 30% of the country's electricity is obtained from natural gas. And this small part of this gas is imported from Algeria, Nigeria and Qatar by ship. In addition to these liquid gas imports, a large number of pipeline projects plays a crucial role in the region of Anatolia. Since 2006, natural gas has been pumped from Azerbaijan to Turkey via Georgia using the South Caucasus pipeline. From the Turkish city of Erzurum onwards, this pipeline joins the Tabriz-Ankara pipeline, which transports natural gas from Iran into the Turkey. And this pipeline later becomes the Trans-Anatolia natural gas pipeline, connecting Azerbaijan, Georgia, Turkey, Greece to Italy. And there is Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline. This pipeline takes crude oil from the Caspian Lake to the Mediterranean Sea. Then there is the Western Route Export Pipeline, which transports crude oil from the Caspian to the Black Sea region through the port city of Suspa, Georgia. And the final pipeline which comes from Baku is Baku-Novorossiysk Crude Export Pipeline. And from the port city of Novorossiysk, Russia, the crude oil is shipped by the tankers through the Straits of Bosphorus and Dardanelles to the European markets. However, Turkey's largest gas import partner is Russia. For over 30 years, the gas has been transported overland to the Turkey by using Trans-Balkan pipeline. Ukraine, Moldova, Romania and Bulgaria are involved as a transit country in this project. But this overland route also requires this nation to be involved in the gas supplies, which is regulated by the transit agreements in which these countries hold a good negotiating position. And oftentimes these contracts include high transit fees. And in order to avoid this situation, two further pipelines projects were created in the Black Sea. The first project was Blue Stream Pipeline, which was inaugurated in 2005 and reaches the mainland at the Turkish city of Sumsum from Russia. And the second pipeline project was the Turk Stream Pipeline, which reaches the mainland in the northwestern of the country not far from Istanbul. This pipeline was inaugurated in January of this year 2020 by the presidents of the both country Putin and Erdogan. This project offers a high strategic advantages for both countries. Thanks to this pipeline, Russia is the Turkey's most important gas supplier. Around half of the Turkey's gas imports currently come from Russia. In addition to this, the balance of power is changing along the Trans-Balkan pipeline. Ukraine's negotiating position on further transit agreement with Russia has been weakened. That is because of Turkey. Turkey, which can be supplied directly now from Russia, and the Trans-Balkan pipeline, which has been upgraded so that the gas can flow in reverse. So it will be possible to pump the gas from Turk Stream pipeline via Turkey to Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova and Ukraine, which in turn puts Turkey in a position where it might be able to re-export gas and become a transit country itself. The project fits in Russia's larger strategy to avoid Ukraine as a transit country, as both nations, Russia and Ukraine, are currently facing off each other in a dispute over the status of Crimean Peninsula and the Donbas region. And in order to know more on this dispute, you can check out my video on Ukraine. The link is in the top right corner of the screen and in the description below. And since many years, both countries are in a conflict over the gas transport. In the past, Ukraine received $3 billion annually in a transit fees, which have repeatedly triggered the dispute with Russia. And Russia at times shutting off the gas supplies as a means of pressure to undermine Ukraine. Ukraine is not only an important intermediate country for Russia gas export to Turkey, but also for gas export to Western Europe, which Russia is working towards avoiding Ukraine with the newer Nord Stream and Nord Stream 2 pipelines. And with the loss of the central role in the gas supply in the region, it has been seen as a national threat to the Ukraine's geostrategy and its national security. The following political relationships plays a decisive role in Turkey's gas supply. Turkey finds itself in a unique situation in which the country, despite being surrounded by gas exporters, is still struggling not to become too dependent on any particular nation. Because of Iraq's political instability, Iraq does not play a key role in Turkey's portfolio. The same goes for Syria in the south. Competing pipelines projects through Syria, for example, transport natural gas from the Arabian Peninsula, can almost be certainly ruled out due to the close tightness between the Syrian government and the Russia, which later on resulted into the ongoing Syrian civil war. And the gas import from Iran is also subjected to a certain political uncertainty due to the US sanctions, which is aimed to dissuade the nations from trading with Iran. Even if these sanctions do not currently affect the Turkish Iranian gas trade, it still affects some political uncertainty. And in between Turkey and Russia, there are a number of different positions that they hold in international conflict, such as on the territorial dispute between the Armenia and Azerbaijan, or on the status of Kosovo, as well as the two countries' different position in the ongoing Syrian civil war. Turkey wants to avoid becoming too dependent on Russia, so Turkey is looking for natural gas reserves within their own control, especially in two areas, in the Eastern Mediterranean and in the Black Sea. And in the Black Sea particularly, a major discovery has been announced. The field is Tuna 1 and it is said to have a capacity of 320 billion cubic meters of gas. For a comparison, in 2019, Turkey consumed 43 billion cubic meters of gas. So in theory, this field could meet the country's gas requirement for a solid 7 years. And according to President Erdogan, this discovery should mark the beginning of a change towards the more independence in the country's energy supply. But after the outbreak of the Wuhan virus and the collapse of the global crude oil price, which has fallen from $58 a barrel to $26 a barrel, this oil price crash has severely affected all the oil exporting countries, which are now unable to balance their oil revenues and their large public spending. And the current ongoing anti-Turkish boycott movement by Saudi Arabia has made this region highly potential for large-scale war. And currently, all these important geopolitical players are actively involved in the current ongoing Armenia-Azerbaijan war. The geopolitics of oil has taught us one thing, that a nation has no permanent allies, but only permanent interest. So this is SiachenX file report on the geopolitics of the oil pipeline in the region of Anatolia. And if you like our videos, please do like, subscribe to SiachenX for more such videos. Till then, goodbye.